Yo guys, what is going on? Nickname is just Yellow, and today this Norwegian hardcore PC gamer is gonna make a video about the money game of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, alright? So we're gonna go through the basic elements in which the money works at in Counter-Strike, and I gotta say, after a couple of the updates that frequently are passed by Valve, things change in smaller nuances and different kind of ways. I mean, I remember when you didn't, you couldn't only buy the Kevlar helmet, you had to buy the entire armor, so, yeah, and also, you know, in 1.6, shit was a lot different. It was not as fun as it was right now to play in the pistol rounds. But yeah, I post the game right here, and as you can see, whenever you start in CSGO in proper competitive matchmaking or any other form of proper matchmaking in terms of, you know, the clock being smaller and the bomb timer being a lot shorter, we start with 800 bucks, and for each kill you get 300 bucks, and then you also get a loss or victory bonus. And there's also a bonus towards which gun you kill an enemy with, in which the knife is times 6 money, so that's 300 times 6 essentially, which is like 1500. Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I meant 1800, I fucked up the math there. But anyways, there's also loss bonuses, and anything that streaks give you a lot more money too. So if you learn to control your money well, and if you read what the enemy buy, and if you read what you bought, and if you read what you could buy, and if you also understand how to apply the things that you could buy in this game, you can be able to put out some serious moves in which can have a very, very nice cause and effect in terms of what you do with your money. But the basics first, so let's go into the game right here and check out this store. So this is just, you know, the regular stuff. So there's only a couple of sensible choices in terms of buying pistols, in which on CT side there's no real reason to upgrade the main pistol. It's very good in general, and the range and damage is pretty nice. But if you ever want to upgrade, you should probably upgrade to the P250 and nothing else. In terms of gear, you can buy a defuse kit, a Kevlar vest, and a couple of grenades, in which I would almost never really buy anything other than a vest or a kit and a smoke or grenade for CT side, because if you do that, you can actually just, you know, take a nice little route, and if you also then had a good spawn, you can time it with a couple of your teammates, and you can now prepare a grenade, and then you can, you know, just line it up and just far throw it. You know, you run and left click throw, and you look a little bit up, and that they will, you know, hail somewhere close by where the enemy could be at. Or if you get a different spawn, you can go and do it somewhere else. Or you can just be the rotator quick the kit carrier, I meant to say, that can quickly go from A to B, in which I personally like to, at least on this map right now, I'm not a super fan of this map, by the way, but I like to have the kit, which is 400 bucks, and then I like to have a smoke grenade, which is 300 bucks. That's 4, 5, 6, 700 bucks. That leaves me with 100 to rest, in which I'm not normally don't use for anything, and then I just toss a smoke grenade right here, and I block off this initial path right here, making it a little bit easier for me to kill anybody that might pass by. In which right now, I've started to use the P2000 a little bit more, because in that kind of sense I can, I get one extra bullet in terms of shooting down the enemy. I can spray a little bit because I got some extra clips, even though again, having nice gun control and, you know, crosshair placement, shooting them whenever they can, you know, appear around the corner, that will give you a lot more out of the round in general. You can also mix it up, and if you get like a really good spawn, you can switch up the smoke with a grenade, and then you can just toss it down at the wall right there. So if they want to go here, the slowest guy is probably gonna get tagged with the grenade, maybe more, you never know really, because predicting if the enemies are going to go down the second mid or street, or if they're going to go banana or up middle here and do some bullshit, you never know really. So depending on how you spawn, you should try and instantly build out one of the moves that could be sensible, and then, you know, execute from there on out. So as you can see, yeah, winning by the clock running down, we get a lot of money. Essentially anything in this game that you can do that will cause something to happen in the round, it will give you money. So let's just now quickly look at the money you get for different guns. So the default shotguns are 300 to kill reward. The AWP is 33, giving you 100 bucks. Normally anything is default gives you 300 bucks, in which, yeah, it's decent, I guess you could say. And most of the submachine guns give you 200% except for the P90. And so if you just play maybe super terrible, but you then start to coordinate what you want to do with your money, you can actually be able to put together some serious kits and or tools in which can be applied in other kind of strategic ways and manners in which can allow you to very effectively crush the enemy. But then again, that is more reliant upon team play rather than actual, you know, raw skill or just being able to perform well with your weapons individually, which is something that happens a lot more frequently whenever you're playing matchmaking. So you can't really think in those directions, okay? Hopefully you understand me right there. But, you know, that is just a part of the matchmaking game. You can't really do anything about that. So, yeah, what you should rather focus on is to understand how the weapons that you buy or could buy, or that the enemy should buy or could buy have, you should try and understand all the perspectives of how they work. For example, if I were to play as a terrorist, this is something I try to do as much as possible. I try to identify where grenades are appearing in the first kind of rounds, and the reason for this is because of how, like, they cannot afford Kevlar if that is the case, in which if all of us then have Glocks or bought something else, in which if you're playing T-side you should probably upgrade a pistol sometimes. If not, you can go balls deep with a Tech 9, in which you won't really be able to afford anything. Or you could just go with a Glock and you could buy Kevlar. Now, if you then identify that the enemies, they might somewhere around here, they might, you know, fight around and they threw a grenade down there, now you suddenly have intel that this guy that threw the nade from this position right there and then, he doesn't have body armor. So he's, as long as you actually tag him on his body, he won't be able to properly fight back, even if he got decent aim. So as long as he's not playing that kind of position that he has properly, he's now gonna get wrecked. So, you know, noticing these small nuances to the game, even initially in the first couple of rounds, that can give you so much of an edge, and it can allow you to make one really, really good decision, or a couple of, as, you know, the game progresses, in which will allow you to get a, you know, a nice little lead on towards the enemies, in which will allow you to beat the enemies a lot better. So yeah, this is just a first little video I figured I would make about the money game. I'm going to go into how to conserve your money better in the couple next videos in this kind of series. I'm gonna go through different ways in which you can spend your money more wisely. Common smart things to do when you want to buy different things for people who don't know that. And then later on I'm gonna go into a lot more of the theoretics of how advanced the money game can really be, and how you should, you know, just try and make the most of it by predicting stuff that could happen in the future. So if you people enjoy this video, I would recommend you to either subscribe and or at least support the channel in some kind of way. I don't really care how, even though again we got the Patreon stuff in which there's a lot of rewards there. Some of you people will probably find them to be nice and dandy. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and don't get beastified when you play.